Radiant team's turn to pick.
Grimstroke.
Radiant team's turn to pick. Dire team's turn to pick.
Mars!
Mereska has arrived. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to ban.
Timber Saw!
Stop jungling, let's push. Stop jungling, let's push.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team's turn to ban. Radiant team's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to pick.
Dusk.
Great, they're back. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team's turn to pick. Dire team's turn to pick. Luna. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to ban.
Faceless Void.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team's turn to ban.
Run, 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 run!
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team's turn to ban. Dire team's turn to pick. Radiant team's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Storm
Choose your
Spirit.
hero.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
My thanks will come later, when you least expect it.
That is too good.
You blew it!
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Isn't that a pretty thing?
Handsome devil, aren't I?
Interesting.
Handsome devil, aren't I?
"30 seconds to battle."
Through that early game. Do you think either team have plenty of damage without their cores, or?
Let's get moving.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Run, 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 run!
combined with some different team fight heroes, because you really have some nice crafty ways to find kills with the terrorize into another big combo here. But at the moment, this is a great start for Mercury Storm. So we're kind of, there's not much of Doom's going to be able to do early. Range versus melee. Jamesy won't be harassed a whole lot, but this.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Dire's bottom tower is being taken away.
I always remember how foolish you looked. The petty politics of your people are of little interest to me, Sarah.
Huzzah! Mine!
Пиджачка и... да. Крутые, и всегда их можно будет использовать в пабе. Ну, пока мы видим, да, по линиям у Мистери все получше.
2-1，然后这边12-2，这是21Z 4RTZ 嘛？
Jamesy.
Run, 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 run.
Yeah, pop that water rune as well, just for the instant health that he was able to gain from it. Top a being. Time walk away. You do see how difficult that lane is right now for the Void. He's only got 10 last hits compared to the 17 on Jia, so having a good lane at the moment up top for Team Mystery, and how bot is going at the moment as well. Luna, same last hits as his opposition carry.
Stupendous.
Not on my watch.
Radiant structures have been snow fortified.
Run, 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 run.
Oh no. So do we clarify now that it's you playing a song, not singing a song? Because I think a lot of people were getting excited at the idea of Denok singing. It's got to verify some one charge as well, James. He should be fine with that rotation from Eris. But it does not drag the Rubik away. The issue is that Van's going to be fine. I mean, it's not like a Timbersaw needs too much support now at level 4. And he's solo versus Ghost anyway, so... Trade here. He's still got time walk, so
Thanks,
see that
guys.
it's a
Thanks
lot of damage on the Void though. He is having a bit of a rough time.
Dire snow fortified their structures.
Nice.
Run, 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 run.
level 6 chrono would be very interesting from a being. I feel like the point in it, like, you get at least 1 kill with a chrono regardless. I feel like if you just go even drop it on a support and have like a groom stroke there, surely that's enough.
Run, 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 run.
I mean, you. You're right. 3 points in bash though, and I think with an ink spell and stroke of fate should be enough. I don't see how like a Willow can escape. Maybe they hold Shadow Realm and he TP's out after all the AoE stuns. Who knows? But you are... This lane for being is going really, really poor, and we're probably going to see rotation pretty soon for Mercury. I mean, he's level 6, so actually going to use the DD to zip on mid, Jamesy. He needs help and he needs it now, but he's getting no reinforcements. As Mercury's going to be able to pick up that first blood. Didn't even need the extra TP from Dark Willow, who ended up cancelling that. The double damage does definitely help. They're just... I mean, top is a mess right now. A Bing... He might just end up falling. Nice quick stance with the embrace. A Bing gets the Time Walk away. Xiaoyu just wasn't able to combo that up with the God's Rebuke, but he's still hunting Phase Boots. If he can get the last right click off, just out of range for the God Rebuke. Now they're diving pretty deep, so Doom's going to have an opportunity to swing on over to the top side. But Jamesy doesn't have Scorched Earth, and I don't know if they can get a kill with Doom considering they don't have stuns. Oh, that is a yikes of a rotation.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower's got problems. Someone better have Dire's middle tower. Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Do see though, at least for Cignal, they're able to find that T1 tower in the off lane, so that's going to be a nice little chunk of gold going their favor, and it does give them an extra couple camps to be able to farm up as well. They are some fat stacks though from QWE. I was thinking in my head, like, when are they going to start making some stacks for the Lunar, and they've already got some big ones around the triangle. Yeah, Storms. I'll take them.
Are those cracks in Dire's top tower?
I mean, Doom still is second in the net worth. I was just expecting him to be a little bit more farmed. However, that one death really costing him. Maybe if his Devour was on cooldown, and you really want to be kind of the top of the net worth, utilizing that kind of artificial net worth boost you get in the Devour, and you can hit a really fast timing with like 2 items to run over the early to mid game. But this is a game where we haven't really seen too much impact from Jamesy, and I think it's going to be a while until we do see some impact as well. Eris as well. End up falling now to the top side here, Jamesy, with that Doom. We'll get a freebie. The nice one puts the Doom on cooldown. Gets a kill on the core, where Xiaoyu was having a very good game so far. He was third in the net worth right now, so slowing down that blink dagger timing. Can he get the hood off though? I don't even think it's enough. He's got some one charges van, incredibly tanky, but the rest of Dire can't really go as deep as what the Timbersaw is looking to do. So they're going to end up losing the position 3 there. Great rotation from Xiaoyu after the death. No committed. The Dark Willow was going to die nonetheless, so QWE does a lot there. They're probably still going to end up losing their tier 1 tower. Bruno's on cooldown. Cast his curse for Wayne. Oh, nice use the Ironwood tree. Spear pushes him back, but Van's tanky, and they've got so many hoods as well to take up the Eclipse. It's not going to be a great fight for Team Mystery. The Cignal bait them into defending their tier 1 mid. Now they feed away a couple unnecessary kills as well.
Run, 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 run. Run,
Bing. Oh, we missed the spear. Link still got to be slow, and that should be enough. Gamey, yeah, I know it was really awkward there missing the spear, but at least he was able to use that blink to catch up and get the God Tribute. So we do see though, like, just the difference in life from these position ones. Like Luna has been free farming up top. That was the first death from Ghost, but you see how her life is at the moment. You know, just top to the triangle. Whereas the Faceless Void, I mean, it's level 12 to level 9. So this is a ridiculous contrast between the two position ones.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Mercury? Wow. He's like, oh, I don't want to be there, guys. Zipped into 3 hero smoke. He's got that Kaya and Sunge completed now as well. The item that we're seeing a lot more here on the Storm Spirit Rush with how incredibly strong it is with that mana regen. They found it being once again. What's he doing top? The dead lane, brother. That's not where you want to be farming.
Stop jungling, let's push.
Yeah, that is a questionable place there from the Faceless Void. He's only got 73 last hits. Like, we were saying that the Void needs to have a good game, otherwise where is the damage going to come from inside the Chronosphere? And you've got 73 last hits. You're the bottom net worth out of all the cores right now. It's just, it's really looking rough, but like what? He's not time walking forward. There is a real lack of communication right now that's showing from Cignal. If Darkula gets away,
Someone better help Dyer's middle.
like he, yeah, I'd.
Are those cracks in Dyer's top tower?
Mercury? Zipped up right into Jamesy. Oh.
Dyer's top tower is
And now
under
they're
attack.
setting up for bot. I mean, 3 heroes showed mid.
Tower is under attack.
Don't do it. Don't time walk forward. He's gonna get the time walk away. Might actually have to drop the chrono. Where is he coming over? Still gonna run into QWE. The Bing needs a little bit of help, and well, that help's gonna be provided.
Things would catch up with me.
It was such a weird smoke maneuver though from Cignal. I'm really surprised they didn't go bot first, because you had ward set up. You had the Faceless Void that was pushing the lane, and how are you ever going to think about taking a tier 2 tower mid before Aegis? Mercury is going to get caught out, finally get that first control with the Embrace, and then Jamesy has to commit the Doom there. And they might try and look for a couple extra more kills as well. Jiao Yu gets the blink away, the Curse Crown stolen. Still going to get some distance, but they're hunting for Wayne. Long Timber Chain forward from Van. That's slow. That's going to be a secondary kill for Cignal Ultra in the mid lane. But still, I mean, you lose these heroes. Yes, Mercury dying is probably the worst out of it. You're fine with Wayne losing his life, but your Ghost is getting a lot of farm still.
Radiant's bottom tower's got problems.
That's so, like, yeah, there's definitely seems like there's old, like, names that suit older people and, like, names that suit just younger people. And you don't think of, like, a Wayne. I don't know. Like, it's just... Yeah. Redneck Wayne.
Bottom tower is
Yeah.
under attack.
Some bogan or redneck named Wayne who... Out in Whoop Whoop, yeah. There's definitely... feel like there's stereotypes with names, and when you hear of someone you just instantly think of their background and, you know, some of their hobbies. What? It's not being judged. What do you mean? What? Just yeah, it's not even a bad observation. It's just one you make of people's names before you really get to know them. They're not trying to throw me under the bus here. I don't know why. I'm not doing... It's a judge that doesn't hurt the person. And then you learn about them, and then it's something that, yeah. We'll go with that. Let's go with that. Drop Chrono. Oh no, Mercury just outside the Chronosphere, so they get the control. And Adai moving over. They're underneath an observer board. They're going to see Grimm's retreating away, so if Rady can punish. Storm doesn't have too much mana, but a great shot from Wayne. Now with a double soul bind, this could be a decent fight. The Eclipse stolen as well from Eris still. Storm's for zipping on forward, but he's got to be careful. He's still got some mana to disengage, but Jamesy with the BKB. Can he continue hunting? A great start with a double doom, but it's only going to net them the Tusk and the Storm. Ghost, however's got to be careful. Van's pushing on forward. The beam's getting rained down from hell, but it's just Van at the moment here. Jamesy's well blink on forward. forward. It's got the Infernal Blade. And up with the two heroes from Cignal Ultra. All their net worth coming into play to end this team fight as QWE gonna go for a TP out. James has got the War Stomp though. Great way to cancel that. We're gonna see QWE end up falling as well. So a fight for Cignal Ultra in the end tilting back in their favor.
Stop jungling, let's push.
Got it.
Mid lane. Rubik's gonna get caught. I think Van should be. It does have to be a bit careful how long he sticks around for, though. See how tanky he is. Lord Greaves, Dragon Scale, yeah.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Welling Death versus a strength hero, never too fun to play with. I think the Ghost Scepter's pretty decent versus someone like the Storm Spirit as well, because he does get a lot of his damage from attacks with those overload procs. Wayne, great positioning. They're gonna go the long range. Still end up jumping the toss nonetheless, but they wanted a more important kill than that, and unfortunately they're not gonna find it. That's another smoke maneuver from Cignal that just nets them a support. But if you get the tier 1 tower, you're gonna be happy with that.
Under attack. Dire's bottom tower is being kicked away. Radiant's top tower has looked better.
Radiant?
Dire's bottom tower.
Well, Dire have all their ultimates. If they can retreat up to the triangle and turn around with that observe ward.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna matter. The Void's not there. Van's gonna have to make a lot of space here, but yeah, they should be aware that the Faceless Void is down bot as well. They saw him TP to shove out the wave. This is a lot of information. Let's see what they can do with Xiaoyu. Misses the spear. He's still going to pop the BKB as well. Now Eris is going to have the spear to play with in this fight. Jamesy, blink on 4. They're going to be careful about the Storm Spirit. Instant burst under the Grimstroke. That gets rid of the Soulbind with a double doom capability. Where's the Terrorize going to fly? QWE hasn't found an opportunity just yet. And Noah Bing's able to join the skirmish as well. They're pushing them back. A buyback from the Tusk. See if he's going to be involved in this secondary follow-up fight here. Xiaoyu's still in trouble. But keep in mind the BKB is on cooldown. The spear finds a connection but doesn't get the stun. Oh, Uh-oh, QWE. Shadow Realms there. A lot of AoE damage though from Van. Is it going to be enough? However, Bing's going to be careful. He doesn't have the BKB just yet, but Radiant. They're not in the area to be able to jump forward and protect the Dark Willow. Looks like Jamesy was pushing the rest of the heroes back with the threat of a Doom. And now with Roche so low, Cignal can go in. And they got the Soulbind ready again. So they're going to be careful if they group up around a choke point. Xiao Yu blinks on forward. They're going to move forward as well with the Luna. Rains down the Eclipse, but doesn't get the BKB off. They're going to steal the Eclipse once again from Erison. There's the double Doom. Holding the Luna along with the Mars around the triangle camp. Ghost is going to try and stand the ground with the BKB. Mercury's able to tip on forward as well, but look at Ghost go. The Glaze bouncing back and forth. It's doing so much damage. It's nothing that Cignal Ultra can do to handle this. Even though they get another double Doom, there is no Chronosphere. A Bing, zero impact in these fights, and Ghost is able to stand his ground, and he might be able to get Grims as well. Running up the higher ground sets up for a beautiful Bramble, and now they're going to be the ones to fall back and claim Roshan.
Huzzah! That should help.
Yeah, Luna's... They're about to get an influx of items. Storm just got Lincoln's. The Luna's about to have the Skadi, which is such a good Skadi game. Against the Doom, who's going to have a decent amount of regen. Against the Faceless Void with the Time Walk, Mask of Madness. Against a Timbersaw with all this sustain. Quite the Skadi game.
They're beating on Dire's top tower. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Are those cracks in Dire's top tower is gone. Just a cold fog left behind.
See, it's now a 3,000 net worth lead for Team Mystery after the tier 2 tower top has been claimed, and they're looking to even push forward for more potentially, thinking about a high ground siege with Van being this wall of defense there on the Timber. It's kind of awkward to push through him, so they're going to smoke up and look to go to the bottom side. Well, if they're farming up top, they're well aware that the rest of the team for Cignal have to be down bot, but unfortunately that smoke isn't going to pay off. So we're going to try Xiao Yu. He can be preemptively. So drops the arena. Finally, a great Chrono from a Bing straight on top of the Luna. Eris as well with a stolen Eclipse. But they brought down the first life with the Aegis. Tusk's going to end up falling as well. Jamesy, he commits a Doom on top of the Mars, but Mars has already used all his abilities, and now with the second life, Ghost going to try and look to turn. He's going to rain down beams from the sky with the BKB pop, but Ghost, he doesn't have the rest of the team. It looks like it just doesn't even matter. Ghost's damage right now, it's through the roof. Mercury's going to drag back the Timbersaw. Now they're on top of a Bing as well. He gets the Time Walk away, but where's the extra control? It's going to come through thanks to the Dark Willow. The Cursed Crown is there. You can't break that thanks to the Shard, and now with the Rubric as well is getting chased back underneath the tier 2 tower. Ghost has got another round of the beams available, and now with the slow and the Skadi, that's all she wrote for the Rubik. 4 down on Cignal Ultra, and they don't have buybacks. They're gonna go for it. Why not?
Thanks, guys.
Oh boy, you can't let a Luna get in the base like this. She's just gonna tear apart the objectives. The tip from Xiao Yu as well. They know this one could just be over. I mean, Void's up in 10 seconds, doesn't have a buyback, and I don't think it's gonna take them 10 seconds to bring it down. pops the BKBs, P pushing away. Doom doesn't have a buyback van as well. And that's it. Team Mystery taking game 1 here. An incredible performance from them.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Ladies and gentlemen,
remaining.
welcome back to our second match here between Cignal, Ultra, and Team Mystery. We're going to see a good performance from Mystery in their first game here. It's going to grant them their third overall map victory of the LoL division. And with first pick, then I'll go. What surprise, honestly. The Grimstroke getting picked up. No real difference there. But we saw in the break, you know, there's exciting stuff happen. We finally hit the goal of Denog playing his song. That's what we
It took until the second last day. It took until the second last day to do it. So I'm happy that chat was able to do it. Some crazy channel point whales were hoarding all their points. I saw like 7,000 points dropped, 10,000 points dropped. So we got there in the end. Now that you're there, you got to make sure that you are saving those points. Use them for predictions so that you are entering the giveaway, because there's some good stuff that I'm giving away. You know, little Dota pins, Dota playing. Esports, but in between Series 1 and Series 2 of the day, because you reached the goal, I will be playing you a song, and not just a song, I'll be playing 3 songs, because I've had a little bit of time to practice. So it's not singing, I'm not Whitemon, there's no ignition, but I will be breaking out the old recorder for people that have watched past broadcasts. I've played Happy Birthday to players before, but it's gone over reasonably well. But I'll be changing the Zibe from the Five Men at the time in the European region. So he liked it. It was good. This was still in the heights of like the middle of COVID, where no one could go outside at all. Whereas now we're returning to some semblance of normality, which is always good.
Radiant team's turn to ban.
But you haven't learned the ignition version on
Recorder? No. If you want, I will Google it. But, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? It's like like it's pretty simple, right? But we'll see. We'll see what we're able to do. It'll be 3 songs in increasing levels of difficulty, and the last one is definitely a showstopper for sure. But
and I'll just be clapping my hands along the way. Woo! Do we get an encore? So you got like a song in your back pocket. You said you got 3, and maybe there's a 4th coming up for an encore.
No. there's okay. I mean, if you want something super simple, I could do "Mary Had a Little Lamb" as the encore, but that's nothing special. There's going to be three main ones that we'll be doing. We only have a certain amount of time between the series, right? So you gotta make sure you're part of that. But we got the draft going. Timbersaw Grim, you know, kind of similar to how Cignal started the draft last time around, but they're just feeling a lot more confident with being able to out-execute. I think it's just going to depend on what comes from here. I don't want to see no Faceless Void. Like, it does nothing with the heroes so far that are in this game. You know, you need a Death Prophet, you need a Leshrac, you need a Lina to be able to do something into that Chronosphere.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
Yeah, they just... I think the issue was as well, like, it just wasn't an overall good performance from a Bing. And I wonder, when did they pick the Faceless Void again? Was it? It
was like their 4th pick. So right before the last phase of bans.
Seconds remaining.
With the last phase, they have overall last pick this time.
Mm-hmm. even the Lion's not guaranteed as to where it wants to go, right? Like, it could be either support combination. Probably a bit more likely to be a 4, I would say, just because you need that little bit of extra farm. You're not amazing in lane to be able to protect the core, and we saw how rough of a time of being had in that game number 1. Although with the Rubik being picked up, who knows? I felt like Eris did a pretty good job on the Rubik that time. He got multiple steals off onto the spear. He got multiple Eclipse steals, so he was very quick with the fingers. It was just not too much follow-up from the rest of his team, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was surprised because I was saying like there's not many abilities that are going to have too much impact, at least in regard to the Chronosphere. But you know, we saw him have some very good steals, and there's already a couple of great abilities for him to take over this game as well, like the Grimstrokes. You know, Toolkit is great, the Timber Saws as well. I mean, if you can use the Whirling Death on the Timber himself, it just takes away a massive chunk of his health pool. So you know, they do have 2 real squishy range supports, but can dish out some damage and also some control as well.
Yeah, I mean, with Mystery, for sure, they've got a lot of kill potential with Grimstroke and Timbersaw, right? You just need to go the... even at level 2, maybe level 3, Stroke of Fate into a Inkswell, and then Timber just with that slight movement speed slow, just chains in, Whirling Death. Deuce has been let through, and they're going to be able to pick it up for Cignal Ultra here. So, I mean, what's changed from the first time around? You've got the Deucer and the Lion were banned out previously. They were quick to pick them up, both for Cignal, but it's not with the last pick of the overall draft. So you could look to go something that counters it. Perhaps, I don't know, an Invoker, maybe, for the mid lane. Go Quaswex, heavy into that EMP, look to drain the mana quite heavily. It's also a natural Spirit Vessel builder, which is always really effective against a Medusa because you get the full effectiveness of it because you're losing your mana before you lose your HP. And Spirit Vessel is based off your current HP. So it's always going to be great against a Medusa. Again, Mars, if it is going to be Jamesy in the mid lane, then you've got an Invoker against a Mars. Like, what are you supposed to do? You're going to out regen, you're going to out harass. So I feel like Invoker would be a pretty good pick here.
Are there any other position ones we could see for Team Mystery to go in this 18th pick if they're not thinking of someone like an Invoker?
Something that outranges. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see what the obsession is with the Faceless Void. Like, yes, he's slightly more effective now with the time dilation, but for what? Like, what are you doing? You've got a not so great laning phase. You've got no heroes that combo together with you with the Chronosphere. And if you get bodied in the laning phase, which, you know, Cignal have the last pick overall, they can go something that directly counters you. Like, I don't know, a Venomancer even? It's not going to be great with an Abaddon, I suppose, but like, you could very easily have a poor laning phase. And, well, they're getting rid of the Invoker because Cignal are like, well, we don't want to have to deal with that as a Medusa. But even if you picked the Invoker then, right, it counters the Medusa, and then later on you have a Cataclysm, which you can potentially use to combo with a Void. I think that would have been perfectly fine.
10 seconds remaining.
Obviously, just having more priority, I guess, with the Void, which I'm a little bit surprised like you are as well. We didn't see a strong performance from a Bing, and it doesn't look like they have much of their toolkit to really dish into the Chrono. So it's going to have to be someone for Mercury, which does, and
at least they've got
the heroes that you did highlight.
Yeah.
And it does give them the Lesh with the Timbersaw, Lesh with Abaddon. There is quite a decent amount of synergy with this last pick. How you have the Timber on the front line, really being the beefy man, but doesn't do too much damage to objectives. That's where the Lesh track comes into play. And the Lesh really likes having a defensive support to really emphasize how he wants to play up in the face of other teams. So Abaddon's really going to provide that.
Yeah, it's now a solid draft for Mystery. It's not amazing, but it's solid. You know, they're able to get a lot of stuff done. You mentioned their ability to take towers now with a Leshrac. Timbersaw, of course, can do that himself. They've got decent team fight. They've got good lockdown. They've got something that they could use with the Chronosphere. It's not a bad draft at all. Even Wave Push. What are they lacking? I guess reliable stuns. That's about it. That's not on a massive cooldown. And they are just going to pick the Venomancer, right? Like, they have the last pick overall. It's into an Abaddon, though. So I'm like, is it even that great? I don't think it is.
They're going to lane the Veno versus the Abaddon as well. Which mean, you can't really put it in any other lane, so...
I prefer Team Mystery's draft quite heavily.
How do you feel like Cignal are going to be able to play around the Medusa, though? Because we've seen previously the mid-Mars can... If you have a bad time, this is a hero that isn't... You've really got a snowball to be tempo controlling, and they need a tempo controlling hero this game for Cignal. Like Medusa's going to sit back, find farm, play around the triangle, use that split shot to farm the ancients, farm the hard cam. But now you've got a mid Mars that can be a little bit iffy on how much tempo you can provide, and you have a Venomancer as well, which is a bit more of a slower hero. You really want to get defensive around a T1 tower and start to make a formation with your Venoward. So it really feels like Cignal, they don't have ways to be as high tempo. Is that an issue, or do you think the Veno is going to do enough in regards to just defending objectives so Medusa can farm deep safe?
I mean, I don't think a Veno is going to be able to do anywhere near enough, particularly against Alesh, right? Like, you don't need to stand there and right-click. It's your Diabolic Edict that's doing the damage to these towers, and I think it's going to be a pretty damn rare situation where you've got a Leshrac there without the Abaddon just to save him from... Yeah, that is the one strength of Cignal's draft. They've got a lot of stuns. They're going to be able to... If they can find someone solo, they can easily chain lock them down and burst them. And that's what they're going to need to do. They're going to need to be playing together, they're going to need to be finding these solo targets, and they're just going to need to delete them from the game. But what happens after that? That's the big question. Like, you can defend objectives all you want, but you lose one team fight and you don't have those heroes there to defend the objectives, and things become a lot rougher for you.
Yeah, that's just going to be... Your towers are just going to start to shred. It's with the Lesh that's going to have some pretty high points up in the Edict. So this could be really difficult here for Cignal. Like, they can either keep their tier 1s alive for a decent chunk of this game if the Veno gets off to a good start. Otherwise, if Lesh and Timber are able to have a solid laning phase, I can just see their tier 1 bot and tier 1 mid falling really early on, and that just takes away what a Medusa wants to do and kind of how a Venomancer wants to play the early game as well.
Well, speaking about Secret Liquid, they played this Leshrac Faceless Void combination, and they ended up winning that game. That was game number 1 against Team Secret. Sorry for the spoilers, chat, but, you should have watched it by now. See, how does this Arteezy thing get through? Like, the photo is nice, but what is with that background? Like,
I need a refresh. I need to see it again. Battle happening up by this rune. Oh, we're gonna get a kill. They're all a bunch of wussies. I'm like, come on, guys, let's get some kills here.
Well, it's a 3-for-1 for Mystery. Good start for them.
Take any little advantage you get with the bounties. It's always nice team moral victory.
Yep. And I feel like this lane with QWE and the Timbersaw, like, there is some kill potential there. Whereas, previously you had, a Grimstroke paired together with the Faceless Void. There's no kill potential there. Like, you can't go in early on. Faceless Void doesn't do anywhere near enough damage. So top lane is just going to be about Mystery trying to make Ghost survive and farm as freely as possible. That's what's great about these, strength, high movement speed, melee offlaners that have some kind of save, is that they can just put themselves in harm's way. And that's exactly what he's doing. And so I feel like Ghost is going to have a much easier time than a Bingy did in game number 1.
And I wonder what he's going to bring out with his gold that he's got at the moment. He's got 430. How much sustain is he going to need for the lane? Wayne's got a Selv in his arsenal. And I was going to say a Mango as well to keep spamming out the Aphotic Shield there. But this is still, on paper, not the greatest lane for the Faceless Void versus the Veno. But like you've been saying, the give Ghost a bit of a better time than what we saw for a Bing.
I know my Veno matchups, and this one's it's not great. It's been a while though since I played it. I'm on the Witch Doctor train now.
Witch Doctor train? He's not bad. How's the Witch Doctor been going?
Yeah, not too bad. Van's getting chased down a little bit here, which is a little surprising for the top side. Ghost's going to miss a range CS, which is actually a reasonably big deal. Making a super early rotation here with QWE with 2 points.
Eris. They're going to
There's
get
the
the silence coming through as well, thanks to Wayne. First blood's going to get picked up. Great rotation from QWE. And, I mean, Xiaoyu's really not worried in this matchup. It's a hero that he's really, really comfortable on the Timbersaw. And you're against a Lion and Medusa. Like, what are these two heroes going to be able to do to get a Timber out of the lane? I say that. Xiaoyu's taking a lot of damage, but he's also stacking up the armor as well. But solo levels is something that Timber really, really thrives with. So I don't mind that at all. They're going to try and put a lot more emphasis on Ghost Lane. Yeah. Can they get a bash? Probably going to need 2 now that Van pops the Fairy Fire.
RNGs is not on his side that time, but the fact that, like, most of the time you want to be able to give over that first blood to the Faceless one. But honestly, I feel like in this situation it was better that Wayne got it, because with that he's able to ferry out so much more sustain for himself. He just needs to park himself on the front lines. They're going to kill Van here.
Van's a goner. I don't think the boot's speed is going to be enough, and Ghost's going to fly on over and be able to get that kill this time. Only 165 gold compared to the 289 that Wayne was able to pick up, but this is a great start to the safe lane here for Mystery, and something that we didn't really see when Cignal were playing with their own Faceless Void.
He's staying in this position where he's like, okay, they clearly don't have this warded, otherwise they would be playing a lot more carefully. But I don't want to commit super heavily. He's just trying to pull these waves through as much as he can. It's going to be hard to do it, though, without clearing this tree. He does a good job, though, keeping that line of sight with the creep wave. Eris has been interrupted, though.
He's playing so aggressive down bot. Eris now stunned up thanks to Inkspo. They got the slow from Ghost along with Wayne, and this tri-lane for them is just tearing apart Cignal Ultra. There's nothing they can do at the moment. I mean, leaving a Medusa, you're just gonna... I really struggle to see how they play this now, because Medusa's gonna need solo experience, because she's gonna get zoned back into the jungle very early once Timber hits level 6. And if she doesn't really have experience to keep herself afloat in the jungle, then she's gonna farm incredibly slow. And we were saying that how Cignal are able to play this game is they need to keep their towers alive. Great wraparound from QWE. The Inkspell stun to 2. Wayne will be protected thanks to the Aphotic Shield, and now it means that Mystery can just continue to find another kill. They're finally going to rotate in Grims, but they're able to scurry away for Mystery with their lives.
Yeah, Wayne is going to continue going in. I don't know about this one. I think it might be a little bit too keen.
Shoot off.
That was good, though. He made sure he saved the Aphotic Shield until right at the end before the Venomous Gale hit onto him. You can just see here, like, that kill was really important to Van. He was sitting second last on the net worth as one of your cores. That is never what you want, especially when you last picked this, particularly to counter the Faceless Void. Lane though.
Look at the Deucer. They left her solo. This is not going very well. He's got a catapult wave as well. Xiaoyu actually might just do like a third of this tower's HP, maybe even more. Once a Timber gets a kill with a catapult wave there and level 6 picked up, it's so hard to recover a lane.
And you just know that if anyone looks to rotate, James, he's going to need to throw out a spear. Finally does. But if anyone does rotate, they're going to need to make a kill happen. Yep. There's it again.
Second death here for the Venomancer. Ghost did time walk in. Fadebot's a lot of damage from Eris. Actually going to kill off the Grimstroke, and Grims is still hunting the stun. Ghost has got a Midas queued up. So he's off to a great start. Probably a better start than he was expecting. And he's surprised with the Midas build, because I thought he was going to go like the Fuser Blade into like Sanjin Yasha or something like that to get really aggressive on the Medusa early. But yeah, with his great start, he wants to heavily scale.
I just hate Midas in general. QWE, he's gonna suffer here, end up giving up his life. The triple stun though.
Inkswell's stunned.
Not bad again.
Ghost. Time walks in. He doesn't have any mana, unfortunately.
Grims, you gotta be careful.
He's not gonna be able to use that fresh level 6.
I mean, later on, like, I'm kind of clutching at straws here about how this Dusa lineup will eventually work. You can see here Bingy, after that death, he's like, nah, I'm not going back to that lane. But look, it's all pushed in. The same catapult is still pushing in to that tier 2 tower bottom. Finally, Cardi's gonna die. Rest in peace. And have they been able to get any stacks? Just 2. But Wayne spots it out.
Don't drop it. At least he didn't use Observe Ward, but cost him his life. He's got shield, but no TP, and with the slows, they'll chase him down. But they've already got a ward around the high ground there, so they will keep tabs on the Medusa. That's the only spot she can farm now. You see what Zhao Yu's doing, like keeps bot shoved in, has an Observe Ward around that fresh high ground position with the recent patch, and now they're really just going to be able to control bot, and it means that, like, where can Radiant farm with all their cores? They're just going to shrink the map, and it's going to be so difficult for Cignal Ultra to keep up in net worth.
Answer is nowhere. They cannot farm anywhere right now, as, well, we've got an attempt here onto the Mars. Scratch that, it's not an attempt, he is dead. And that is the mid tower gone. 3 points into the Diabolic Edict. They're going to pop the glyph, but it's just delaying the inevitable. And once you take this tower, that opens up that entire triangle
Surely
area.
Surely doesn't die to Wayne. Oh! Wayne's still going. Mistcoil should be too low of a range here, but it looks like Grims now is in trouble. That's just the Photic Shield, but Zhao Yu doesn't find the latch. That's another tier 1 down. Like, how do you play Dota now without towers? You need a farm somewhere with a Medusa. Your draft just doesn't enable that. Your Veno lane went poorly.
This would be a big kill.
3 deaths, 22 last hits.
That's a bit king. I don't think you can afford to be that deep as a faceless void. You don't have any vision of the Radiant jungle. Oh, you got a little bit, I suppose, where QWE is just standing underneath now, but make use of it. That's the one death you get. You know, he's had a good start to the game though, the faceless void.
He's lucky that this is a game where that one death probably is not going to cost them. Sometimes there are games where you get that one death and it can just be a massive swing around. As Dire probably going to end up bringing the reinforcements to Zhao Yu's lane. They want to find that last tier 1 tower as Van Mercury. Nice cut behind, and looks like Eris as well is going to be the next to fall here. It does steal the chain, so it's going to get some distance into the eventual TP out. Ghost again.
All right, that's not good. You can't be farming there. You know it's not safe. You know you don't have it warded. Yeah, you're going to be able to take a tier 1 tower, and I suppose that, like, completely seals off the safety of the Radiant Tricamp, but I don't know. There's an extent. Oh, and the haste from top. So Mercury's going to be able to pick up here. He's nearly got enough for his Yule Scepter as well, so that little bit of extra safety, not needing to completely rely on the Abaddon, but still most of the time he's going to be playing with him just so he has that extra little bit of sustain for himself.
Look at the warding on Dire. Oh my lord. They're giving no room for Cignal Ultra at all. Like, Zhao Yu's taking away an ancient stack. I'm going to try and smoke up on Dire. They're going to run into Signal's own smoke, but they've got a really nice Observe Ward to scout this out. And, I mean, Medusa he's only got 1 point in the Menace Shield. That's going to do nothing against Lesh's burst potential with all this magic damage. That is another death for your win condition on Cignal Ultra.
And I was a little worried, considering how good Spirit Vessel is against Medusa, that they don't have any natural vessel builders, but they're just dominating the laning phase. They don't need it, you know. Oh, well, Mars, he's going to get caught out a little bit here. Mercury's low on mana, though.
They're cutting behind. Just with the Stroke of Fate. Van, the level 6 Venomancer coming on through. It's really not going to do a whole lot. Poison Nova, but out goes the retreat.
Alright. Ghost is farming on the bottom side. Surely he doesn't get caught again. You can see the Mars and the Lion, they're making their way over. You've got the Finger of Death now as well, so you're off point just for a second, and you are dead. He's probably going to walk underneath
Wayne?
that. Well, they see Wayne's coming, though.
Great position. At least he's going to protect the Void. They might be able to actually keep Wayne alive. Faceless Void still got Chronosphere. Wants to drop it. Cignal are grouped up. Time Walk was unfortunately still on cooldown, so he couldn't move forward to get a better positioning with the ultimate. But nonetheless, it holds in Jamesy, and the rest of Team Mystery can come on the backline and kill off Grims, and they're not done just yet. Xiao Yu, your level 10 Timbersaw, 12 minutes into the game. And full as Eris shouldn't be long for this world at all, with the Chakram back up and available. And down she goes.
Yeah, I mean, Medusa enjoyed the brief time that she had to take away the triangle, but you know exactly where she is, and pretty low on the mana right now, Abingi. You've got a double damage Leshrac running at you.
Oh my.
Oh, nice use of the, just the quick spin around to use the Yule Scepter to interrupt the TP, and that is another dead Dusa. Or is it?
James is here. You're gonna try and get a little bit of revenge. Kills off the Grimstroke with... I mean, you still lose your Medusa, like... It's gonna get to a stage where it's not worth it at all. It's quite the wasteland.
Let's push. How? How is the question? Like, you are the push.
The one that needs the jungle as well, and... Oh, you ain't getting no room at all. You're 5th in net worth on the Dusa. It's a 4,000 net worth lead. Have you had a little of the probability recently? If you haven't, what do you reckon it is? Give a good guess.
I have not had a look at it at all. I'm gonna say 92. 84. That's close.
Feels like Dota Plus loves a little bit of a Medusa, but I mean, Ghost has just got all the space in the world. Midas, Maelstrom, he's going to be so farmed in about 5 minutes here, and I don't... there is always
He's inside the base. He's inside the base.
Just make it... They just want it to end. Just make it stop. Make it stop, please. It hurts too much, Venno. I mean, he's got Spirit Vessel, so maybe they can get a kill on a support and then get a Spirit Vessel charge. Xiao Yu? Maybe they don't even need it.
It was a bit keen.
Okay.
Still though, you've got like what, 4, 5 Cignal heroes.
Jamesy?
Catch out QWE. They should be able to get away just fast enough though.
Is Wayne gonna get caught as well? He should be able to get rid of the Gale, but he's also got the borrowed time to get out of the Earth Spike. The Hex is there now with the telekinesis follow-up. Wayne, he's got the Faceless Void coming over with the Chronosphere, but they need extra damage. It's a great chrono from Ghost. Lines up 2 on the edge, just to split Earth as well. Finds a connection onto Jamesy. As they lose 3, Mercury gets a triple.
Ghost is still running.
Looking stole
Bash?
Chronosphere, but Ghost, no.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if he just walks through the green chrono and bashes it? I would just GG out if that was me. So how does that affect? We'll give it a minute, but how does that affect the win probability graph? I suppose the Dusa doesn't die, so that's good. But, you know, just to be able to give 3 kills over to the Leshrac, who's already having an amazing game so far, 6-0 and 2, never going to be a great situation. I think, like, if there was anything I could critique on Mystery's end, you know the Deuce is here. Just ward up the Ancient Camp, you know? Put it in a... You know, Grims kind of sees that this is probably where they might have been attempting that sort of thing, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I think if we were going to say anything as well, like, this tier 2 tower is still up down bot. It's a bit surprising. We've seen Xiao Yu, like, at the tier 3 tower, but they just haven't taken the tier 2. And if they get that tier 2, then once you shoved in a little bit further, then it means that you can have a lot more heroes playing around the triangle camp. Because, like, if they ward there now, it's just going to get dewarded from Cignal, because Team Mystery aren't posturing with heroes there.
And they're a pretty experience-reliant lineup as well with Cignal. Like, Venomancer doesn't need a lot of items. Like, he's got his Spirit Vessel. That's the big thing for him. And to be able to max out those Plague Wards is going to at least give you some extra level of defense. So if Mystery are able to take away this tower, get rid of the outpost, you could just see with all of the sentries, all of the Observer Wards inside the Radiant Jungle, it's just going to be slowly experience being drained away from Cignal Ultra.
Here we go.
A little too slow to catch the 17-minute mark though.
What has Ghost got picked up recently? He's going to go Sanjin Yasha next item. But they are thinking about making that transition to the mid-tier 2 tower as well. They're grouped up around it. Meanwhile, Medusa is farming top, so we do see she's, I believe Sanjin Yasha is now completed for her.
Yep.
Wants the Morbid Mask into the Aghanim is next. Who knows? Medusa is always an X-Factor win condition. The raid boss that can be Medusa, but she's gonna need a lot of time. Probably another 12 minutes at least.
Ugh. I don't think you got 12 minutes, Ares. I think
I don't know either.
You got like 5 at best.
Well, I guess the thing, like, Radiant do have very good high ground defense as Xiao Yu. He's got Hood, Poison Nova, Finger of Death as well. They're gonna chuck out the whole kitchen to bring him down, but it forces Cignal to set up for a beautiful chrono once again from Ghost, finding the connection on 2, and James is also slowed down from the Edict. So it looks like Ghost can move on forward. Dilation will end up wearing off.
Just abandons the chase. Why not? Like, the Void's like, you know what? I can just continue farming, taking more away from the Deuce. So we'll look to take. I was about to say look to take mid tower, but Mercury, he's on the hunt for Medusa. I think he could just easily go back to mid, pop the Edict. At the very worst, get a glyph out of Cignal Ultra. And if that's the case, then you've completely opened up the bottom side of the map for a Rax
Oh, you got a TP out. What the heck? A ping? We saw what happened last time with Stone Gaze. They could just cancel it. What is going on? He saw them running forward. That Observe Ward that just got dewarded from Wayne, but he saw the Lesh move past it. He saw Abaddon coming, the Grimstroke as well, and he just stood his ground and hit a hard camp.
Let's push.
I agree, Bingy. You need to stop juggling. You need to stop being...
Faces Void. Jamesy pushes him back with the spear, but do they have the extra control now? Ghost is able to get away back to the safety of the team.
The thing is, with all of these deaths that are happening on Mystery, I feel like every single one has been when they're just playing too far away from their Abaddon. I don't know if that's on the player or if that's on Wayne, but I feel like he's done a pretty good job so far. You can see here, he's just got the Timber Saw between him and the team. He's clearing out some of the vision that the wards are providing. All he wants to do is sit on the back lines, throw out those Aphotic Shields. He's got the Mist Coil, he's got the mana regen coming from the Medallion of Courage. Nearly finished up the Solar Crest as well. So, with that Deucer kill, what would you say the win probability graph is now?
I think I just checked and it was like 86 or something.
Yeah, 86. I've never been too much of a fan. Like, you know, back in the day when Spectre was like Dota Plus's love child, you know, it absolutely loved it. And I mean, algebra I can handle, calculus a little bit, but it's alright. But graphs, that's where I draw the line.
Graphs not a fan of.
Let's push.
Yeah.
Gives people at home nice little insight into the ebbs and flows of the game, at least experience-wise and goal-wise.
Xiao Yu, he's like, I don't care that you can see that we're doing Roche, Mr. Plague Ward. I mean, as soon as you clear it, they're just going to place another one. Who's getting caught out this time?
It's Grims.
Run.
Hunting.
Use your little lion legs. Only 200 gold away from the Blink Dagger.
Say iron
Clip
or
him.
lion legs?
Nice. Lion legs.
Someone better help Dire.
You said iron. I'm like, he's got iron legs? What's going on here?
He's Iron
Built
Man.
of
Robert Downey
built
Jr.
of metal. Smoke up. See, with the Finger of Death, they got a lot of damage, but the issue is that Dire behind Ghost. They're going to try and move in forward. Ghost can get anything off. Meanwhile, he's unable to do so. Although Wayne comes... Oh, nice! He's still falling really low. The poison over might take him out. He's able to make it away. He's still chasing Grim. And the Abaddon in the nick of time, keeping the Void up, and now they're chasing back a Bing. There's no more follow-ups. The Void is going to keep his life there smoked up. He's still looking to fight.
Well, I think you're pretty hurting right now on Mystery, but they don't care. They're just like, all right, screw it. Xiao Yu. I was about to say he needs to be the one tanking Roche, but I suppose not. You just use the Abaddon to use the borrowed time for it. You know what happened in that fight? Ghost got his Yasha component delivered like right towards the end of that, so he completed the SMY, gave him that little bit of extra status resistance to be able to withstand the rest of that that gank attempt, and just able to get away.
Well, now Cignal were constantly hunting the Faceless Void, thinking that that was their opportunity to come back into this game. If they could burst him down with, you know, a nice chain lock, along with, you know, the Spirit Vessel and the Finger of Death. But now you got a second life, and you are able to make it just that much more difficult for Cignal Ultra to do that. He's even going for a Escardi next for Ghost, so just trying to tank himself up. I'm gonna try mid for Jia Yu, but I don't know how easy it is to kill him, and he's even gonna just show that himself with a chain on forward. It's like, you guys want to jump me? You sure about that?
I think it's a little too keen still. Just take the tier 2 tower. It's one of my biggest gripes that a lot of people do, not just in pubs, but pro games as well. Just, oh, he's got his Chrono available. Who's the big target that he's looking for?
Then might have Poison Orb is still on cooldown actually. Spear drags away Jia Yu, but Jia Yu's already done the job with the Chakram slot, when they might end up losing the Rubik as well with the last right click from Mercury. Plenty of damage there from the Leshrac. God-like streak now. It has been a hell of a game for Mercury, a hell of a game for Mystery as well.
No glyph for 10 seconds.
Walk up the higher ground.
That's all they need to be able to take at least one Rex. No edicts though. And there's the Bloodstone as well. So you thought it was hard to kill him before? You ain't seen nothing.
Got the Timber that can still pop a fresh 9-second BKB. You've still got Chrono as well. The Aegis in the arsenal. Team Mystery taking a full set of racks mid. Finally, Deuce is going to come back, but the Aghanims is still yet to be completed. Ghost. Protected with the Abaddon shield. You have to be careful how heavy you want to commit on a hero from Mystery. With the Abaddon sitting on the back line. Ghost going to move in 4, but it's great Chrono. Finds the 2. The key is going to be the Medusa. All the men are shredded apart. That might just be it. They really want to tap out now. I mean, Medusa's got no buyback. The damage just not showing at all. They'll deal with Mercury. Ghost as well. He's moving on forward. Great Inkswell stun onto 2. Holds the line. The Venomancer as well. Cut down thanks to the Timbersaw. Era's going to get back to safety thanks to the Soul and Time Walk away. But no buybacks here from Cignal Ultra. Could just allow Mystery to try and find a second Rax. I mean, they did kill off the Leshrac, and it's a lot of their tower damage.
It is. I mean, Ghost is just going to sit there and continue to try and lifesteal up a little bit. Signal, they're not going to tap out because, like, they lose this, it's guaranteed that they're out. The win probability is exceeding, but you're just in a situation where you have to keep defending.
Grims. Let's protect Jamesy. So there's some follow-up stun right now for the Grimstroke, and that's enough. QWE is going to get caught out with his pants down, unable to retreat. $14,000 net worth lead for Team Mystery, and why not go back down bot? They've got the Aegis still for another minute 10. Radiant are coming out. Finger of Death on cooldown though. I believe they need this to kill the Timbersaw if they're going for that.
And again, I talked about the experience reliance, right? He's still got that level 1 Finger of Death. It's not enough, you know, you need that little bit of extra damage, but more importantly, the cooldown, because it feels like, you know, it might only be every 2.5 minutes that they're actually able to go for something as well. This is an ambitious TP in from the Medusa.
I'm trying to force something. So as Aegis for another 40 seconds, so Ghost doesn't really care about all the damage that's getting dished out of mode, but the Leshrac, yeah, 100% cares. Can he get the blood turned off? No, he cannot. Mercury's going to end up falling. Let's see if Radiant able to reset the fight here and get in a better position. As a 5-2 to start, the damage is stacking up the moment. Ghost's going to try and time walk in forward. It's a lot of damage. Medusa's going to be careful. He needs to back up. Can he get anything out from the fellow teammates from Cignal Ultra? Forced up away, gets a little bit of mana as well. But Jia Yu hot pursuit with the chain on 4. They're zoning away the Medusa. Ghost is still hunting as well. Chrono up at about 5 seconds here, so Medusa shouldn't be able to retreat away. Turns, gets a stun, but Ghost, he doesn't give a damn about just a measly old turn to stone, as he can now drop the Chrono onto 2. Cignal is still dealing with the rest of the team from Mystery, but now that Medusa's ended up losing his life, Ghost has to end up fleeing. But yeah, he just playing here, but he's gonna be careful. They got the finger and they got the burst. Mystery end up losing all 5.
With a buyback on lane as well. This is it. You don't tap out. I feel like it was like a 16k net worth lead. Now it's at 9. That's how big of a team fight that was. You know, eventually you lose your Dusa, but the difference in having that Aghanim Scepter is enormous. Just being able to provide so much extra lockdown in the middle of these team fights. It means that the Abaddon isn't always completely free to get off the Aphotic Shield. I feel like that time, you know, we talked about the cores that have died, notably the Lesh and the Timbersaw. It's been because they haven't had the Abaddon behind them with the Aphotic Shield. That time it was on Wayne, just because he was a little bit out of position. It was a good arena to kind of zone people out, but yeah, just wasn't able to get in range. And when your Lesh dies with about, what, 70% mana, that's so much experience and damage that you're reducing at the start of these team fights. So you can see the BKB is what's coming next for Mercury. Understandable.
Yeah, very understandable when he's been killed back-to-back times now, and that was a 5,400 gold spink there for Cignal Ultra. So unfortunate that Medusa wasn't able to stick around for a lot of the experience and gold, and also have a minute or so where he could farm instead of the Faceless Void. You're back on the map now, but you do see, Cignal Ultra, they can take some crafted team fights. They're gonna have to need to take some, a couple extra solid more team fights if they want to get back into it.
Paladin Sword, that's extra nice. I could give that one over to Mr. Faceless Void. He's already got the Sanjin Yasha, so he's going to be able to take maximum use out of it.
James got Desert completed as well. I've been very impressed with James's Mars this game. He's had a really, really strong performance from Cignal. Has kind of been bring them back potentially into this game. Don't see them try to start. They need the silence fast enough so the Lions unable to get the Finger of Death off, and a great use of the Embrace from the Grimstroke. QWE on point there. And now the rest of Cignal, they've got to retreat away. Tails tucked between their legs, but Mystery not going to give them an opportunity. Ghost trying to find more in the backline, doesn't have the control. Now scouting out Van. Got to keep in mind that Rubik, Lion, both without a buyback.
You call it perfectly. QWE, great use of the Phantom's Embrace there with the Soulbind to make sure that you have that little bit of extra survivability. I feel like Lion, it shows the importance of having that level 12. He was ready with the Finger of Death, but you're up against a Timbersaw that's got this Hood of Defiance, who's got the Vambrace with the Strength toggle. So all of that extra magic resist meant that he wouldn't have been able to take it down. I mean, maybe you go for it just to see if you're able to, get a little bit lucky and try and take him down. Wayne's in position this time, though.
Yeah, but does the Medusa have the damage? See, the protection from the Abaddon just disrupts a lot of the damage to start the fight. Number 3 here is down. The Chrono dropped on the Medusa. Down she goes. 4 down, no buyback, and Mystery looking to try and end it here, and they will. A 2-0 victory from them.
I mean, as soon as that last pick Venomancer dies, 4 times in lane, I feel like it's never going to work out well. And they last picked it into an Abaddon lane, so it's again, I just need to go back to the draft. I feel like game 1 they had no way to take towers. You also had no damage in your Chronosphere. This time around, you let through all of these different heroes that can do something into the Chronosphere, and you pick what's normally a good lane matchup into a direct counter to that lane matchup, and it just didn't end up working.